All right, guys, so my camera ran out of battery while it was on the, my SD card filled up while it was on the tripod. This is the first time that's happened to me. I'm usually careful about that. So just on my phone here, I don't know what it did in editing. I'll go as far as I can and then I'll throw this clip in. It's because I don't have time and I still wanted to make this video for you guys. So the vice grips, I took them off slowly, and the wooden blocks I held as I took it off, okay? One of them broke a bit, but that's fine. Just be careful with that. And make sure you align that line from the hose, okay? Work your clamp up. We put the Phillips screw in before this so that it would be sturdy as we put this on. I'm just gonna put that hose back, bring the clamp on, put the cap on, and refill the coolant, okay? That's pretty standard stuff. If you made it this far, you can do that yourself. So once I'm done, I'll have another clip on my phone. And yeah, sorry about that. Not the cleanest edited video, but more than enough for somebody who wants guidance to do this job. For some of you, it'll be repetition. Possibly it won't be on my films because the camera was on the tripod. But the electrical connector is the second thing you do, okay? So you slide in the new reservoir onto the tabs and then it can rotate. One hand here, that gives you a tripod. So those 2 points in your hand will hold this on a 45. Go underneath, grab the... Believe it or not, my phone also filled up there. So I'm gonna keep all the clips in, just so it's all coherent possibly. But what I think I was saying there was slide the new reservoir onto those 2 tabs, hold it on a 45, okay? And then get under there and put the electrical connector in. Listen for the click, grab the connector, not the wires. Then bring it down, put the screw in so that it's sturdy when you come to walk your hoses on. I might be repeating things a million times, so I'm tired and these cameras just pissed me off. But obviously slide the hose on, then take the vice grips off, then slide the clamp on, refill with your coolant, put your stuff on. We covered everything. I'm sorry if there's repetition, but I'm just gonna leave all the clips in, and this should be more than enough info for you guys to do this. So I hope this video was helpful, even though it was a lot longer than I thought it would turn out to be. And I'll have one more clip once it's done here, and then we'll keep an eye on it, and yeah, we'll keep taking everything from here. So the prick who designed this joint here, where no matter, even if this is fully open, it still always tries to catch on this piece here in the middle. So I just remembered the baby vice grips trick, so that's what I'm gonna use. If you guys remember, those small vice grips I have are the best thing for keeping that as open as possible and allowing you the most maneuverability, not needle nose. So this is what I'm talking about. I just have to adjust it a bit more. But once it's open like that, you can really work it around there without having to focus too much on losing your needle nose pliers. I swear it doesn't matter what you use. That union is so annoying. So I'm just going to go between the two until I get it. Just be really careful here not to tear that. So I'm still going in between tools. It's just, I think mine is old. Okay, this side is perfectly nice. That side. This one is a bit odd. I've definitely done this with tips that worked in previous videos because I've removed this hose in many series, but just it gets stuck on the lip every time right now. Like, this is expanded just a bit too much. It's not that important of a piece. A lot of stuff on this car isn't important to be there. It's just extra safety, but use whatever assortment of tools and get it on there. I could care less what happens anymore, but I'm gonna, not what happens to the car, but what I use. And I just want to tell you, don't sleep on that hose clamp. Could be easy for you, but this is what happened to me. So I'm going to show you guys so this doesn't happen to you, but with the clamp fully opened, okay? Yeah, I don't care if you had specialized tools. I have the clamp at its maximum opening. I'm rolling it. I'm gently pushing the clamp with my hand as it's open to go over it. I stopped it there at a point where it wants to start tearing everything. And I'm telling you, it's a son of a... words you don't use on YouTube. And I don't even know if I can do it without tearing it this time. I might actually have to put a small slit in this stupid excessive covering to get this clamp across. But this is why I like worm clamps, man. I really hope I find out eventually there's a huge benefit to these 2-ear clamps, but for now, I'm really hating them. So in the end, it took a combination of that and the vice grips and moving it along, and you can see how it's flopped around and it ended up folding a bit. Didn't get damaged, but this is just a secondary, so it's not even important. But my God, what a stupid clamp. Finally, time for new coolant. So I give myself a 7 out of 10 because of the annoyances I went through, but clean job overall. Didn't spill any coolant with my method onto anything vital. Didn't spill any coolant, okay? Just into my rag, which is fine. That's what it's there for, a little bit. And the cap twisted onto this one. Find the old one. Coolant went in, and we're good. Now I can comfortably drive this without worrying that a crack will open when it heats up when I'm far away from home. And honestly, I mean, you can't pour it in straight from the bottle, but using a funnel makes it take 2 seconds. So if you really like to show off to yourself that you can do it without it, don't use a funnel. So you guys see how I'm a bit tired here? Mistake that can be made on such a seemingly simple job, okay? That cover, I came to put it back. Well, I remember most of your cars should have a cover here too. I don't know where the one on mine went, previous owners. But when I came to put this cover back, because one of the checks, okay, everything's integrated on these cars. So that screw we put in there is a rubber grommet for this piece. And I keep pushing it and it won't go in. Lo and behold, I was so focused on the connector and other things in my video that back there, if the angles will let me, you can see that those 2 tabs, Jesus, there's no angles. So right there under the famed coolant hose that annoys the shit out of me, I didn't fully put that one in, or it popped out at some point throughout the process. See, that one is in right there, right there. Okay, that one's in. This one isn't. Don't force this, okay? If it's not clipping and everything else is aligned, I'm going to pick this up a bit, slide that under, and then this will go on. See, I'm keeping this in here truthful for you guys because these are the things that can piss you off about these German cars. And if you're not paying attention and tired and trying to get this done in a pinch. You see, when I put this in, I also didn't pay too much attention to my weather stripping this time, even though I've done this a billion times. So this is off, that's off, that was not in, and the rubber grommet isn't going in because of that. So make sure everything is aligned. Don't tear your weather stripping. But this is how all German cars are. I don't care what the make, model, or brand is, and Audi is the top in doing this. Everything's integrated. So you just got to pay more attention with German cars when you're working on them. Well, finally everything aligned up. I just have to tighten that T30 a bit down here, this one. And other than that, it's finally good, and that grommet clicks in nicely and everything's aligned. So final checks, very important. Job done. Have a nice day. I'll report out to you guys if anything happens, but everything should be fine. And on an extremely final note, if some of you are still watching, all this time I've been saying to loosen this T30. I always say I don't think it's necessary. It is necessary. You're so annoyed with so many things when you work on these cars that you never fully check. But you never need to remove this T30. This literally just clips in and out. It's a design where the plastic piece goes right in. It just sits there. You pull it up from here. You pull it up from the rubber grommet on the coolant reservoir, and that's it. You don't need a T30. Freaking cars should come with instruction manuals, but no, they're designed to fall off the road. Okay, I'm not going to start ranting. I will. Job's done. You got a final piece of info. Have a nice day. It's the next day. Let's take it for a short drive to make sure everything is working fine. It's a bit colder today, so yeah, let's see what happens. Start attempt number 1 today. Gotta love intermittency. Started up on the first start. I don't know why this car thinks it's 13 degrees outside. I guess it's a bit slow, or maybe that was the temp in the garage. But the car does shake a little bit on cold start. It is not 13 degrees outside. But that just has to do with the D-flap from everything that I've mentioned over the years in this series and other people who drive Canadian RS4s. So no concern if you have a little bit of shake and wobble. Don't think it's your engine mounts or something, but if it persists, obviously it could be something else. Those factory badges look like AutoZone special someone just stuck on. Misplaced, random. So in this short amount of driving, Temps are fine, coolant is good. Let's take a quick look under the hood, and then after that in the future I'll let you know if there's anything going on. A quick note on the hood stick thing, it didn't really want to stand well and slipped on that stupid felt liner, the fire retardant thing I think it is. And this is risky now that I'm outside and in the wind and stuff, because if it falls on the fender, that piece of wood could cause some damage to the paint. So don't do this. You can use, I'll show you guys what current market has to put on these, but it's a bit more fiddly than quickly putting this piece on. We'll go get into that more, but I just want to say, if you're doing this outside and you're copying this, it's very risky. Be very careful, or don't do it at all. So in terms of the coolant reservoir, we are doing okay. I mean, the level is a bit higher than it should be. I don't know what's going on there, but that's good enough. It's fine. Nothing's leaking. All of our connections are fine. I got no smoke, which means I did the job clean, and everything up there is fine. No low coolant level sensor. If it's not plugged in, you might get a low coolant level indicator, but things are good. Car's in good shape. We'll just keep driving it and see how everything keeps going. So thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one.